I don't really know what to say about this film. In general, I stay away from big budget cookie cutter Hollywood CGI fests, designed for mass appeal and financial cha-ching. But every so often you find yourself bored on a rainy weekend evening and decide to watch the only thing on TV. And boy did I regret it. Okay, I'm not being fair here. This is not my kind of film, but it does what it says on the tin. A horrendous earthquake hit San Andreas quicker than you can ponder on whether they gave the film this name because they wanted to cash in on one of the greatest video games of all time, and all sorts of bloodless chaos, screaming, and tumbling buildings transpire. The Rock, a rescue pilot armed with a chopper, decides to ignore the entire population and search for his ex-wife and daughter only, played by Carla Gugino and Alexander Daddario. Paul Giamatti, an actor I'm also quite fond of, is also in it. So this is definitely a film that the family can go to the theatre for some proper cinema entertainment escapism. There's no denying that, and there's no denying that's what the film is made for, but I still thought it was a boring piece of shit. Special effects wise, it was a mixed bag. There are some good shots, and I mean some genuinely really great shots of skyscrapers falling from the sky and such, and there are some ridiculously absurd shots, like when The Rock literally drives a speedboat into and on top of an oncoming tsunami wave and has to dodge a cruiser that falls from on top of it, in which it seems the effects and events are trying to outdo each other in ludicrousness. Strangely, this huge sprawling city, crawling with people, felt quite empty once getting hit with a giant wave. Yes, obviously people have been washed away, and this is a family film, so we're not going to be seeing dead bodies afloat and characters torn in half by descending debris. But you'd think the protagonist family are the only people in this place after the wave hits. Speaking of the family, in between the action there's an utterly mind-bogglingly boring subplot involving The Rock getting over a previous daughter's death and him and his ex-wife getting back together. It's bloody painful, and you're asking, can we get back to the Crash Bang wallet please? And when the Crash Bang wallet returns, you're asking, can someone please detach my head from my body using a chainsaw? The problem is that the mass destruction is not appealing if we're not invested in the danger. And we're not, it's just CGI porn. And the family is just uninteresting. The Rock is The Rock, Gugino was asleep, and Daddario expressed the personality of a potato. There was also this dipshit numpty British dude with a stroke-inducing exaggerated fake posh accent who follows Daddario around like a dog with his tongue stuck out. I don't know if this was supposed to be a symbolic representation of the average audience member, but however annoying he is, his younger brother only doubles down. You kind of hope one of them dies to spark a bit of genuine tension and emotion in the film. In fact, my desperation for one of them to snuff it was probably the only thing keeping me going, but alas, an earthquake is no match for The Rock's biceps. Tectonic disaster? More like this film was a bloody disaster. I can't help but think, even though the movie obviously is not aiming for Oscars, it could have been a lot better than it was. It's hilariously dumb, but funnily enough, the movie plays it straight, sprinkled in with a clash of classic American patriotism, and not tongue-in-cheek like, similar movies from the 90s do. The characters are all rich, vapid types, ones who would never go to the cinema, which makes you wonder why the filmmakers chose to make characters like them the protagonists, surely unrelatable to pretty much everyone who sees this film. San Andreas is Hollywood doing Hollywood. It's torturous, boring garbage, and I give it a 4 out of 10.